if we were to wake up tomorrow and realize that a powerful enough computer has been created, that kind of catches us with our pants down. We have no implemented post-quantum cryptographic solution. We have no plan in place for coin migration. We have no idea what to do with coins that don't migrate and are now vulnerable to theft by whoever possesses a quantum computer.
I think that all depends on the definition of we, because I've thought about all these things, and that's why I've introduced
The
a
the
bit.
royal we.
Okay. Uh, I was about to say, because, like we have this BIP 360, it's essentially the plan that, it's come up through a lot of discussion, a lot of just careful thinking and rational, logical, just like evaluating the game theory behind things and incentives, and also just the design engineering behind what's needed to give us the capability to secure coins in this post-quantum regime, right? And so BIP 360 essentially allows you to combine three additional signature algorithms that are post-quantum cryptography, and that allows you to then add these kind of like additional locks to your transactions, that when you spend, you unlock them, and then when you create a new address, you actually commit to them. And in order to commit to these public keys, you essentially have to like hash the public keys and then hash them all once again, and use that hash essentially as the address. And this is for an output type called
Is this something that you feel that you understand at a decent level?
The SegWit v3?
No,
No,
the
the
threat
quantum
of
threat?
quantum here, and is it does everything I've kind of grokked from this is not impending doom,
Right.
and they're saying that 3 of the signatures, I guess, that would be optional are quantum resistant. I wouldn't know.
Right. Neither would I.
And it's like to think about what quantum computing would bring. I think even thinking about what is quantum resistance then, and
I think I guess for me, I don't. The good thing is that we have some time to discuss this, and we hopefully there's going to be a lot of eyes on BIP 360, and we're going to get a lot of debate and a lot of discussion around it. The thing that concerned me, and they do address it later on in that video clip, which is this idea of what's better, having those coins be stolen if they're not protected, and now they're the same coins that existed before, now they're in new hands.
right.
Doesn't necessarily mean that those hands are going to spend those coins immediately, or do what this proposal says, which is basically reduces the rate at which those coins could be spent.
So stolen coins,
right? This is what's really weird
that
about
weren't
that.
protected against quantum, and this is the older coins, the older addresses, and maybe
Yes.
Satoshi's
So
coins.
it's like, somewhere between 1.6 and 2 million coins, they say.
No, I think this is horrible.
That are in older addresses, right?
No, this is not
So
okay at all.
if they were to get stolen,
There's
there's no discussion about, first of all, if they got stolen, what happens with tracking those coins?
No,
and
there's
no discussion about tracking those coins, because as a company that works in the Bitcoin space, we're told all the time, like, you need to track these coins, you need to verify the address is legitimate, you need to make sure it's not sanctioned, blah, 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 blah. If these coins got stolen, number one, what would that process be? Would these coins then be sanctioned? Would Department of Justice track those coins, and would the Department of Justice seize those coins somehow if they could? Versus if they were stolen, and now what they're saying is now this bad actor that used a quantum computer to steal these coins, we would restrict the rate at which they could sell them into the market. But that avoids the whole discussion of wait a minute, what about all the surveillance and chain analysis and sanctioning of addresses? Why like it seems really disjointed to me, and it's sort of like makes me not trust the discussion, because they're not discussing all these other factors that would come into play immediately if those coins were stolen. And those wallets are highly surveilled already, right? Every time anything moves, it's old, it's immediately flagged and we hear about it. So it's I don't know. I don't know quite what to think about this BIP 360 yet. And I'm glad that quantum threat's not around the corner, because there's obviously a lot more discussion that needs to be had in regards to what's best for Bitcoin long term. Right? Because like we're in one regard, we're saying like, if grandma gets scammed out of $100 or $500, $1,000, we need to try and track that all down and reverse the, and stop those transactions. But there's no discussion about stopping or censoring or not censoring, but like sanctioning an address that took coins and had them shipped to. Yeah, like, so you steal 50 coins and it distributes it 10 coins to 5 different wallets. All those wallets get sanctioned, which prevents any exchange from taking those. So it would be, what I'm getting at is it would be hard, right, for somebody who steals those coins to sell them in the current system if it was tracked the way they say we're supposed to track them. But they're not saying that at all. They're saying, if they got stolen, there would be like this slow bleed of coins in over 8 months, as opposed to them being dumped on the market. So if an exchange accepted stolen coins, right? So they could be dumped on the market.
Right,
That's
just slower.
Like, where's that discussion? And it could be that they're talking about it and it's just not part of it.
Right.
But not having the full discussion tells me we need a lot more discussion on this.
Right. And is this a soft fork, or is this just sort of?
Well, it's an update to the signature scheme. So I'm guessing it would be a soft fork.
But but if you then restrict how fast the coins could be sold, wouldn't you have to then?
That's it. I don't even. They didn't go into how that all takes place, and it wasn't a very technical conversation.
I think it's also one thing.
Not that I would have understood.
I think it's one thing for humans and governments to try to track coins and prevent coin movement,
right,
with sort of systems outside of Bitcoin. Meaning we're tracking them; they're on a list. This, then, the other.
So
versus embedding it in the system.
Think about this in terms of what happened with Keone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Obviously, they were tracking the activity through those wallets, and they were tracking those coins, and they said they had some proof that there was money laundering taking place.
Okay, so I'll rephrase that just to,
go ahead.
Because I agree with what you said. Just the way I understood it, and they said 6 billion or 4 billion went through the overall network of Samurai, and that 280 something million or 200 something million was presumably used for like money laundering or black markets, based on some study of the chain analysis on right. But so
if a wallet that had been stagnant,
those are the government
Satoshi-era wallets that was been stagnant forever, if they were broken, the public key or the private key was compromised, and they stole those coins, everything that we've seen would tell us that they should be able to track where those coins go. Now, if those coins end up hitting a mixer and get obfuscated, et cetera, then those coins are just like every other coin in circulation. I don't know that there's a real. I mean, yes, there's a threat to having 1 million coins that have been locked up forever to hit the market.
That's an economic threat that the market should be indifferent to, and that's like an exchange rate with the dollar. So it's like there's no ethos in defending that. I think.
Yeah, where I have a problem with this is this idea of like, well, we can't stop the theft, so we're just gonna slow
But I
down
have a
the rate
problem
at
with
which they can be
clarifying it
sold.
as theft.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoins get lost, stolen, and all the time.
Right. What if someone says, "Oh, I lost my"? I mean, I don't know how they'd get to it first, but is it conceivable someone wants to recover their own coins with
Quantum? I never
Right.
thought of that. Yeah, that's
like they're
that's
locked out of their
conceivable
own
also.
wallet?
That's conceivable as well.
I doubt they'd be necessarily first, but you can't rule out that someone doesn't have that interest and the tool wouldn't be of use to them.
Right.
And then I think if you quantum resist, why can't you use time lock, right? And just time lock your coins, and they're not there.
I mean, the bottom line is this, and we can move on because we're going to talk about quantum over and over again today. But the bottom line is that this is a slippery slope in regards to Bitcoin ethos, and there needs to be a lot more discussion. We need a lot of tactical eyes looking at this and discussing it out in the open so we can evaluate it.
I think we need AI
maybe
to evaluate a lot of this for us and see to kind of think about the unintended second and third order effects and what we're not putting together, what dots we're not getting, obviously. All right.
The only last thing I would put there, and I don't know if this is even possible, but is there a way to change wallet structure, the way you custody your coins, that would secure you against cryptography without it being a soft fork? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I'm not.
As long as we're not changing
I'm just
rules
asking,
to
I wish I had
or hard
a
fork.
team of developers sitting here that could tell me the answer to that, because that would be interesting.
I think there's like three things here. It's like you want to prevent quantum. So then it's like we have to agree that that's a goal we all want. Then, then there's the level of, okay, so now that we want to do that, we have to achieve it. So we have to write code. And then we have to validate and verify that the code achieves the goal that we all agree to.
There's no problems with it.
And that there's no problems
second
with the
order
code.
effects. Yeah.
Right. And that the code is good.
Yes.
And that there's no, even if the code achieves what we want, does achieving what we want interact with other aspects of the network that we didn't think about and have negative effects that way?
Right. And
so that's many levels.
And we don't even know how imminent this threat really is.
Right.
And there's a lot of value out there that could be stolen outside the Bitcoin network much easier than Bitcoin. Should quantum achieve?
But the argument there is that centralized databases could be rewritten, and you could say, "Oh, we don't acknowledge the one
What if quantum is used in a ransom attack, and the attacker wants to be paid in Bitcoin?"
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.